Hello and welcome to the Chamundai channel, where we ask the angels, the ascended masters, and our guides to answer our questions, to bring forth messages. And tonight we had a beautiful question: can love ever leave you? And as I was tuning in, it feels like an angelic frequency going to give us some conversation or an answer to that question. So I'm just going to tune back in. We are the angels who are very delighted with your question about whether love can ever leave you. This is a fascinating idea, and we understand it comes from human conditioning and the ideas of love that are prevalent upon your earth inside your human society. It is quite puzzling from the higher realms to contemplate that love could be absent, as it is in truth your life force and it is the essence of your soul. And without your soul, you are not alive in your human body, and yet your soul does exist in other dimensions. And yet the love frequency is something that is more present in some dimensions than it is in others. So this question has many layers to it. If we turn our attention first to the concept of human love, then if you perceive that love is connected with something that you are receiving, such as affection or attention or material goods, and it may be affection from a pet or a person, and you talk about loving your pet. If that pet was to leave their body, then you may feel as though love has left you because the focus of your loving attention was on that pet. And the same is to be said of a person who you feel much love towards. And there could be at those times what we would describe with the greatest love and respect as an illusion of love disappearing or being absent. The truth is that there are times and situations where love may feel absent in your life. And so it may feel like love leaves you. However, while ever you are in the frequency of your soul, then love is present. And unconditional love is the truth of your soul and your heart. And it is generated more strongly by your devotion and service and activities that you may do on earth. And as a human, these start to generate love. And if you think about what is love, it is a type of feeling, a type of emotion. And yet, beyond that feeling and emotion, love is a force. It is a frequency. If you are familiar with the work of your Dr. David Hawkins, he made some experiments in which he measured different frequencies of emotions, and he spoke about a field or a frequency of love, unconditional love. And so we would distinguish the idea of love as a type of affection or a feeling to the power and force of unconditional love. And so the layer would say in this answer that if you are talking about love as a feeling, then that feeling of love can go away if it is replaced with another emotion, because that other emotion would replace the love. As within humans, the way the system is set up, it is generally accepted that humans experience only one emotion at a time. And so if one human is feeling love, that will be present. But if they then feel extreme anger or rage, that feeling of love that they had is absent and has disappeared. So in that sense, yes, that love has left you. However, beyond that is the force of unconditional love, which is a frequency of the divine and the higher beings. And so this frequency comes forth through the heart chakra and is activated through devotion, service, and is really available through karmic actions or dharma that have created enough goodness or the force of good within you that that love force is available. And the human experience is quite interesting because the true powerful force of unconditional love comes forth in the human heart when the heart has been broken, when the heart has been subjected to great grief. Grief is the great process that transforms if the circumstances are right and the human is able to process the grief and see the lesson inside of it. It transforms into a very powerful capacity for courage and unconditional love. And this force, once activated, would be unlikely to disappear unless karmic circumstances caused that soul to, we would say, devolve or go backwards in its evolution, which can happen, although it is a little unusual. However, the souls can descend, and all humans in their evolution do start to descend back into darkness, in which they do not feel unconditional love because they feel separate from it. And this can happen on the planet Earth through human conditioning, and it has happened in the past, especially in the darkest of the dark age. And yet, for the human to exist, there is still and always the frequency of unconditional love maintaining the polar opposite of the human condition. So while the darkness existed, so did the light, and the balance has changed at different times in human evolution. And so we are wondering, is this answering the question that this beloved one has asked? And if there is any further questions around the frequency of love. And as this, we will turn to the second question, how to know if one should continue a business when stock is sold. We will tune back into, feel and respond to that different type of question, calling forth the business guides and the masters who assist the evolution and the development of business on your planet. We would say that the answer to your question again depends on the purpose and motivation that you have for conducting this business. For if this term business is looked at in a framework or a lens of a vehicle to be of service to fellow humans or to the planet Earth, if this word business is a term under which you are operating to help others, then the question may become irrelevant, as you may start to ask yourself, what is the purpose that I am running this business? Is it helping the evolution of humans? Is it uplifting consciousness at this particular time on your planet Earth? Of course, planet Earth has and always will be a free will zone. So starting or stopping anything, whether it is a business or a loving relationship or an activity or a spiritual practice, your choice is always yours. However, many at this time are wanting to help and serve others. And so they are asking themselves, how can I help? How can I be of service? And many are operating businesses purely to support themselves financially without great love or passion. And many, many others are operating a vehicle such as a business in order to provide a structure to be able to help and uplift other humans. And so if the business is one in which you feel great love and joy, and you can see that the business offers are helpful, they are a frequency that is uplifting, then you may wish to continue. However, many businesses and offerings to humanity have a time lapse or a time frame upon them so that they come forth inside the mind or heart of a human as an idea or an offering, and that forms an energy that emanates itself and causes actions through the human, so that you may have been taking actions towards this business. Perhaps you are selling something or delivering a service, and so you do certain activities, and the business itself has an energetic form and may have a a frequency that is causing you to connect with it, and you do certain actions. However, there may come a time when the lifespan of the business is at an end. And the way to discover this would be to actually connect with the business itself and to ask the business, is it complete? And so if you wanted to write, and this is optional, we can tune into this business. However, if you wanted to write the business name, or perhaps look at this in more depth in a private setting, you could ask the business, is it complete? Is it complete? And is its function at an end? And so the question is less about you stopping the business. The question may be more, is the business stopping you? Or is the business needing an adjustment in its path or its course? And this can all be tuned into, for just like you as a human have an energy field, so any project, charity, or activity that you are doing that is a business, or even inside a workplace, perhaps a service you are delivering, has its own energetic frequency. Yes, we see, thought that may have been the business that had come into our awareness. And so the frequency of that business, now that you have written the name there, we will tune into that business and ask it. And you can do the same, as you have been involved and you were the carrier of that business. There is a way to energetically scan a business. Let us just tune in and ask it whether it wishes to deliver a message here and now. We have to say that tuning into that business entity, there is a sense of a small energy field, in the sense of it is not vibrant or alive at this moment in time. It feels as though there are two possibilities, and it maybe we cannot receive all the details right here and now, as it may require a different setting. However, at this point in time, there is not much energy inside that business. However, it does have an option to regrow itself or to complete. And this would be something that could be tuned into more deliberately, as there is a process available to energetically set up and grid any offer. And this is a process which takes a little time, which cannot be done right in this moment, as it requires you as the person who is operating this business to come forth with some visions and particular frequencies, difficult to explain in this moment, but you would come up with a vision and a purpose for this business, and you would come up with asking about soul-aligned clients and what is the benefit that this business is delivering. And we feel there is not clarity around all of this at this point in time. However, there is an option for this to be revisited, and we would be happy to speak to you about it and to perhaps return to a more general comment about the energy in a business or a project. Some do have a time in the same way that friendships and relationships sometimes have a fixed time, and it is said in your human world, there are friends for a season, and there are friends for a reason, and there are friends for a lifetime. And so it is with other energetic offerings as the whole world is evolving and growing, and all sorts of different projects and offerings are regrouping and recalibrating themselves. So it may be not only this business, but other projects are asking for attention. And sometimes they do this by the energy seeming to leave that project. It might feel a little flat, or perhaps there is no activity inside the business. There are no sales or no purchases of services, and it feels quite stagnant. And this is something that can happen, but it also can be adjusted through specific processes of healing, tuning, and speaking into the business offering itself. If there is anything further on that particular question, you are welcome to post. And if there is any other further short questions that may be of benefit, otherwise we would encourage you that if you are in a business or a workplace or being of service, to find the joy, as this is a frequency that is uplifting. And if the whole time inside it is not joyful, it may be that the joy can be returned, or it may be that the time is complete. We would suggest that you trust your hearts and trust that as you raise your own frequency through your own prayers, devotion, mantras, or meditation practices, that you create an energetic field which aligns you with what you are here to do. For each human comes with a soul blueprint that has soul gifts that they are offering to the world. And at different stages in the lifespan, different gifts may activate themselves through acts of service. And so it is always worth exploring and spending time in actions and activities that you love and enjoy, as these will open you to your soul's gifts. We feel this transmission now is complete, and we send you all much love and much gratitude for the service that you are offering in this world at a time of transition. And we will speak to you again. Goodbye. Good. Well, thank you for being part of our group tonight. As if you have any questions that you would like to connect with me individually, then the details are below. And I also visit a beautiful temple in India called Sri Puram, where I'm taking retreats. And the next one is in April. And the details are on my website, which is chamundai.com, chamundai.com. So feel free to check all that out and to message me, and we will meet again very soon. Bye.